Hi, John. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you for making the time, John.
Absolutely. I would love to be here. This is a big thing. It's exciting.
Pleasure. Could we start with you telling us a little bit about your personal and professional background, if you don't mind?
Sure. So about a year ago, I retired out of the U.S. Army. I was a Cavalry Scout combat arms guy, and I was trying to find my new place in the world, my new role. Um, Coming out of the military, didn't really have an idea what I wanted to do or be when I grew up. And so I took a job as a project manager with a communications company, a really good company, good job, but it didn't call to me. I didn't feel like I was fitting in, kind of had that imposter syndrome. And I couldn't wrap my head around this new lifestyle. It was completely different from the military, different people, different atmosphere, different work environment, different ethics. And so I wrestled with that a lot. And eventually, I had departed ways with that company and went back to work supporting the government, supporting the army. And from there, I kind of started up my own company to help transitioning veterans kind of find their way in life, find their role. And then that's how I ended up meeting you and discovering the Audios program to get a better mental clarity and clarity of thought.
Thank you. So, you recently completed the program. Could you tell us a little bit about what you were thinking before you started? Did you have something specific in mind? And how were the initial couple of weeks? Were they new, unfamiliar? How was that?
Yeah. So before I started the program, my mind was all over the place. I was trying to figure out this new corporate lifestyle. I was trying to understand the world from a different perspective. Of course, dealing with family, with friends, taking care of just the normal day-to-day life activities. And now, of course, for my situation, I was also starting a new business. So it was very new to me. It was very complex. I couldn't lock down my thoughts. They were all over the place. And, at times I'd have this kind of sense of hopelessness in terms of, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not right for this. Why would I do this? I'm out of my element. And, so after talking with you for a little bit and starting the program, I really started to drive home and center my thinking and my mindset. There's the principles throughout the weeks kind of get you really understanding your mind, your thought process, and how you think, and learning those skills and how to slow down and analyze things from different situations really became impactful to me, and it was really good helping me kind of center myself, I guess you could say.
Okay. And as you moved forward in the program, were there any specific principles that resonated better with you? Were you able to use a few principles more than the others, which usually happens during the program with everybody almost?
Oh, absolutely. So there was one that started me off right, and that was the twin voices, kind of understanding that positive thought, the negative thought, how the voices interacted. Rarely did I have more than the two, but there were occasions kind of understanding that. But then as I went through the program, I started to the later principles really resonated with me a little more, especially the one about looking inward and my negative thoughts, because I kind of realized these two were working hand in hand against me, along with my negative voice, and those were kind of feeding that. What are you doing? You can't do this. You're out of your element. You're gonna get outperformed, and really kind of pushing those things that were trying to push me away out of what I was doing and what I wanted to do and try to push me into that comfort role, and go back to what I didn't want to go back to. So really kind of digging into those principles and analyzing my situations and my questions through these different lenses really kind of help me peel back that onion and just, discover who I was and what I really wanted to do and how I was going to do it.
Okay. You mentioned analyzing the situations. Could you tell us a little bit about how the audioscope helped you? Did you go through many situations and were you able to find some answers during the process?
So the audio scope, yeah, was a phenomenal tool for me. And in fact, in my own utilization of the tool, I developed a kind of side tool that I would use to support it. So in that audio scope, kind of putting down what my problem is, what my issue is, or my question is, and then going through the different lenses from the different principles and analyzing me, what my situation was or what I was trying to figure out, and really got me going, opening that thoughts. But then working with you in our discussions, I would go on these walks, these contemplation walks, and really just the focus was on whatever that situation was in my audio scope. I'm still using it, so I'm well into the 20s, almost the 30s of different things I've analyzed.
Okay.
Some of them I've resolved, some I have not. I'm still working on those because as I take these clarity of thoughts or as I do other things in my life, it brings new perspectives back to it, and I'm
Mm.
able to reconnect with that initial thought or that initial problem and mindset, and then go back through these lenses and see a new perspective. And it's really kind of opening up those situations for me.
Anything about the modules of speaking less and speaking slowly? How did that impact you?
So those were two really good situations I know we worked on personally. For those who knew me before, especially while I was in the military, I was a very, very fast talker.
I see.
My thoughts were fast, my mind was fast, and I would speak really fast. And the drawback to that is the faster I was speaking, the more I was speaking, one, I wasn't actually getting coherent thoughts out there or
Mm.
complete thoughts. But the other thing is, it was not allowing me to take in the world around me, to take in that natural things, to take in what other people were saying or the environment itself. So as we started working on slowing my speech down and speaking less, I was able to start observing more. And I was actually getting better clarity because of it, since I was fighting that urge to speak or put my 2 cents in or contribute to a conversation that may not have added value or peace to anyone. It actually calmed me down and it started opening my mind, which really kind of helped me see things differently and in a new light, a new perspective, and being able to cherry pick what other people were saying and getting at, and really helped me out a lot there.
Okay, thank you. How do you feel such a program could help people in general and specifically transitioning veterans that you work with?
So, as a veteran myself, having transitioned, this was a game changer for me because it did bring me from a that military world where it's very fast paced. It's follow orders. It's here's the big picture, get it done. I don't care how. And of course, the battlefield situation and analyzing the world around you, making quick decisions on the rapid without really having that time to think and dig deep into things. Now here I am in a new world, I transitioned out into this corporate world, new environment, new rules, and that off the hip decision making and problem solving wasn't cutting it. So it being able to slow down to really understand the world around me and going through, huge, especially for veterans because it is new. It's a new world. It's a new lifestyle
Mm.
because the military is its own lifestyle. So
Mm.
being able to essentially hit a reset button, it's not throw away what I had in the military, but it's now let's enhance it and let's get you into a different mindset and still leveraging those old tools, but here are new tools and new ways that can help you and enhance you. So if it could help a veteran, definitely your everyday person who may be switching jobs, tough relationships, hostile work environments, moving, everything life throws at you, it's all inclusive to this. So it's not just central focused because it's your mind and how you see the world and how you operate in it.
And Uh, you mentioned inward looking versus outward is something that spoke to you. Do you think that can also help the transitioning veterans?
Absolutely. So, as us veterans know, we were really good about looking outwards, seeing the world, but from a different perspective. We were analyzing our threat situation. We were checking on our fellow service members. We're making sure everything was aligned, and it was very systemized. And there was very little looking inward. It was always about someone else enhancing someone else's well-being, and it kind of causes this rift because then we don't self-care to ourselves and take care of ourselves. And now kind of going through this, instead of looking out the outside world, and as we've discussed, TikTok and the new age, it's all about look at me, look at me, look at me
Mm.
externally, right? You put yourself online and making your viral videos and this and that, but you're not really looking inward to who you are and how you think. So being able to slow down and stop and understand who you are as a person, looking inward and reflecting on your values and your thought processes and your contemplation of life really kind of changes everything, and it's for the better. I feel it's made me a lot better of a person. Just even outside of myself, the way I handle relationships and working with other individuals, there's a change. It's different in a good way.
Okay. Any final thoughts on someone who's probably thinking of taking the program? Do you have any advice for somebody who wants to get started?
Well, I would definitely say do it. Get started. You don't have anything to lose by discovering new things, by learning new things, especially about who you are. Many times we think we know who we are and what we want, but usually it's a lie, kind of influenced by the world around us. So I really challenge people to think about it. Are they doing motions because it's really what they want? Or are they doing motions because it's what they think or told they should be doing? So definitely, get started, get that mindset, get that clarity, and really go in there with an open mind and open, positive attitude, because it is different. Things that work for me, those walks, I carried around a little voice recorder with me so I can capture my thoughts in real time, or, and maybe that works for some people. Journaling might work for others, but utilizing it with the tools like the audio scope and seeing the situation from new perspectives, it's really gives you a new clarity, and it reveals so much, one about who you are, but two about the way you could solve a problem, and you see those new ways and you're like, whoa, okay, hey, I got an answer. And so I challenge people to actually do that, and be one with themselves and invest in themselves a little.
You carried a recorder on your contemplation walks?
I carried the recorder a lot with me, even off of my contemplation walks,
I see.
just so if I thought about something and I just wasn't able to write it down, I was able to just speak into this little recorder, capture my thoughts, and go back to it if I needed to. I also did it on my contemplation walks. So later, if I went back to the audio scope at a different time, I could revert back to what my mindset was or what I thought then and see if it's similar to the thought I had now.
I see. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much, John, for being with us.
No, thank you for having me. And, this is definitely a great tool and a just great for humanity as a whole and how we approach life and the world around us. So thank you for let me be part of this program, and thank you for talking to me about it.
Not at all. So I look forward to we working together in the future, and I'll be seeing you in New York in a few days.
Absolutely. In a few, yeah, coming up.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye.